couple guys on Cal defense that you want to pay attention to. Obviously, a guy I really like. I think he played in this game. Ashton Davis, 27 right here. And then I think Evan Weaver is the horrible number 89 at linebacker. That dude just produces. I mean, he's not the fastest guy. And I know everyone says that about a lot of guys, but he's just always around the ball. And guys like that can carve out a niche at the next level. And right on cue, looks like he isn't on his tackle, but it looks like Moss brings the power behind this run. Let's take a look. I think this is Weaver right here. Coming right downhill, inside zone. Right in the hole. And you see, again, Moss, man. He just lowers his shoulder and falls forward. I mean, what was that? 2-3 yards? I know it's not much, but that play should have been, wrapped up in the backfield. Looks like the next series. And again, look, I mean, what do you see? I don't like the little hezzy step that he has. I mean, you're backed up. You're on your 1 yard line, inside zone. Watch a little hesitation right there. Why aren't you coming downhill? I mean, it looks like he just gets it across. They'll give him forward progress, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, they give him forward progress, but I mean, no hesitation. If there's no hesitation right here as he's getting the ball, I mean, there is a gap right here. You see Weaver come through this gap here. I mean, just cut it up inside. Don't waste time. I mean, this Bills run this play a lot. Got the orbit reverse, got the split flow. Good read to bounce it. But you see Weaver stays behind his pads and wraps him up. And he's a big guy. You can see some of that leg strength, some of that core strength from Moss. This is a high tackle from Weaver, and you see him still kind of lean. And look right there. I mean, that's pretty good flexibility and obviously strength. He's not going down. So when you're looking at the play strength of a running back, that's pretty strong right there. Oh, almost counter tray basically. Again, they're trying to run that counter, those gap schemes up inside. They're not trying to bounce it. Just a good play from the backside of collapsing it. If you just collapse it backside, there's really not much of a crease there for Moss. Just a high low to the top of the screen. Looks like there was supposed to be some kind of play fake there, but oh, nice play. I mean, talk about salvaging this play. You see him bobble the snap there. He kind of gets it early, runs out to his right, and this is a 3-level concept to top of the screen. He finds his outlet. Look at Moss. Call for it, gets it. And again, the ball's kind of behind him. You'd like to see the ball be on his front, top shoulder, right? I mean, it's behind him, but Moss is able to adjust. And again, that seems simple and seems like nothing, but for guys, bigger guys and running backs altogether that don't really catch a lot of passes, this is a nice play. And then you see him just turn upfield. What do you think? You gonna get in? Nope. So again, that breakaway speed. It's the thing. I know a lot of Bills fans want those speed running backs. He ain't breaking it on this play. But watch how he becomes an option. Becomes an outlet for his guy. Weaver's got to make a decision. Am I going to stay with the running back here? Or am I going to rush the quarterback? He has to make that decision. Throws back across the middle. See a nice little adjustment there by Moss, right? Soft hands. Gets upfield. Falls in his left hand. But he doesn't break it here, unfortunately. Looks like inside zone. It looks like he's reading this 4-eye back defensive tackle right here. Cuts it back. Tight end blew his block over here. Excuse me. There we go. So you can grind that out. You see a little hesitation there. That, you can tell, is to set up the block. He's waiting for this guard to pull. And when he makes that little hesitation jump cut right there, it's pressing the line of scrimmage, but it's also pressing this defender, I believe, right here, setting up that block. Tight end across the formation. Some down blocks at the point. Again, their power runs are usually pressing the A, so you see the bounce right here. Setting these guys up, right? And just watch his feet. Again, he's cutting. When he plants right there, watch where his right foot is. It's upfield. So he's getting right in the stride. So you see he really set this play up. And he's making that jump cut, that plant right there. Got the right foot well ahead of his left foot, right? He's getting right in the stride, so he's getting downhill. So again, that right foot well ahead, he's getting right in the stride, and guess what? He's preparing for contact, getting his pads down, and he just clears his way there on that run. It's a tough run, 4-yard run. But you still see a little hitch in his step, right? I mean, this is an easy read right here. As this guy's scraping over top, he's getting up. He wants to get up inside here. He's got to know that that tight end's coming across the formation. You see right there, he's making the cut. And then there's like a little gallop right there. Like, what, I don't know what that's for. If he's setting up that if that defender comes free, but there's a little hitch in his step. Watch again. I mean, he still gets up in the stride, but again, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if he's second guessing his eyes there. But it's still a good run, don't get me wrong. But just little things like that show up a lot in his film. Is that Weaver again making the tackle? Yeah, I'm telling you, this boy produces. Watch him. Watch this linebacker right here, Weaver. It's a left tackle that's scooping. Look at him. Beats him with his hands, deflects that block, and then makes the tackle. I mean, that guy he just wins, man. He's not a sideline to sideline guy, but he just makes plays. Good job of bouncing that one. And he breaks the tackle. I think that was Weaver there. Let's look at it again. So 5-man surface from the defensive line. This is that, tight front. When they run a run stunt, you're going to see this defensive end right here. Slant inside, 90, the nose tackle, slanting back out. So they're just trying to disrupt the zone blocking. And you're setting up 8 to be free right in this hole right here. This is why it's a really good cut by Moss, and it looks like 8 may even lose Moss in the traffic right here. You see him, he's looking back this way. Moss is obviously bouncing it out to the right here. So now he's one-on-one with Weaver, but there's just too much space to make the tackle. It's an arm tackle. He obviously is going to break that. But again, that burst, that decisive cut behind the line of scrimmage was smart. So, I mean, he did a good job of recognizing that little run stunt and getting upfield into the second level. Now just a little bend back play here. Same side. Still inside. It looks like still an inside zone run. He sees the defender lose the backside edge there. I wonder if this was an actual intended cutback. Either way, good cutback. And then he hugs that block by the tight end right there, gets upfield, and then watch out. So he's meeting Ashton Davis right here, 27. He's meeting Ashton Davis, and you see Davis does a good job. I know he dips his head, but look at him break down. The dude's an athlete. He's going to break down. A lot of times you're going to see safeties come from depth, and they're running full speed, and you'll see one leg in front of the other. You see him. He's so agile that he can scallop in. He's scalloping in here in position from depth. Now, he stops his feet because he's bracing for impact. But he still, clears the legs of Moss, and Moss goes down. So, That's a pretty good tackle from Davis. He's not scared, obviously, contact there. That's what you want from a deep safety, especially a guy with his speed. Single back power. I mean, watch Weaver, man. He doesn't mess around. He sees this down block by the center. He sees the guy pulling, reads that, and then he's getting downhill and meeting the guy with his hands. And the guard that pulls does a good job of wrapping around, trying to seal on the outside. But you see, there are defenders outside, defenders inside. Moss is kind of in no man's land. He doesn't have anything there. He makes the best of what he can on that play. There we go. Oof. Okay, so here's that offhand I was telling you guys about. Haven't seen too much of it. Again, he likes to lower his pads and he'll kind of, put his arms together to protect the ball, but he'll also kind of use it to pry arm tackles open, right? And get away from that. You see the nice right there. Watch that out. He bursts outside right here, right? So now he's got to create separation. This guy, he's running away from this guy, and that guy is struggling to stay with him. He stops his feet, and he's just reaching with his arms. But watch that right hand. He bends the corner right here, and as this guy's recovering, and he's got pretty long arms. He's got going to recover. He even has the top of his shoulder pads. Not that I'm not saying he's going to bring him down, but guess what? As he's coming to wrap around, what does he do with that right hand? Boom, rips upward. And what does that do? That takes away any kind of leverage that guy had. As he was swinging his body weight around to wrap with that left hand, bring over the top of Moss right there. And who knows, if he brings that left hand up over the top, he could rip the ball right there as it's away from his body. But because of that little rip with the offhand and the momentum, obviously, that's carrying Moss and that defender, he's able to break that tackle. Now he's cutting it back to the middle of the field, breaks another couple arm tackles. I mean, I'll let it play in real time. I mean, it's a big guy, and he's running full speed, and all that momentum is cutting back to this middle of the field. Obviously, when you cut back to the middle of the field, you got to prepare and brace for contact. He does receive it here, but this is a really nice run by Moss. He breaks several tackles. That offhand is fantastic, and then he's just breaking more arm tackles as he's cutting it back to the middle of the field. Good run, good finish. Offhand is so crucial to a running back, whether it's if you're going to the ground and you're putting your hand down to stay up, or if you're using it to stiff arm, or you're using it to push a helmet down. Play. Or just like that, little things like that, how you break tackles with it, because it can absorb hits as you're preparing for contact. You can use it to break tackles and brace for hits and redirect momentum of defenders. Okay, here's our boy Weaver right here, right? Watch him. Look, he's not fast, right? But look, processes it. And right when he gets on contact, what's he doing? He's wrapping with his left hand, and then he's coming and chopping over the top on the ball. Boy's a player. That dude can play. That's the kind of guy that coaches love. I mean, he's out leveraged. There's no way he's going to leverage just this speedster right here. But guess what? He uses the proper angle, squeezes it. He gets nice help from this defender out here of making him cut back a little bit upfield, and then just wraps and chops. It's a good play. It looks like Utah did recover it, but that's the kind of stuff that coaches love. So as a play Bills run a lot of, we've seen this probably about 5 times in 2 games, 6 times in 2 games. Split flow, orbit reverse, some eye candy. How does it affect those linebackers? You see what it does to 8. What does it do to Weaver? Nothing. His processing is ridiculous. So you see his zone blocking here. He sticks to his keys, Near back is Moss. He's not falling for that. No, I'm actually going to shuck that lineman right there. And now I just got to get leverage on the ball. He does. He gets a little help from that outside defender, making cut back in, and guess who's there to fill? Let's look at it from the other angle. So ball's kind of, he's looking over his left shoulder. Obviously sees his quarterback's in trouble. So he flips his hips, does bring the ball in, and now he just wants to get upfield. Once he catches the ball, you see him, he's reading this block already on Weaver, getting upfield, and then he just makes, I think it's Davis at the end of that play. Okay, good job wrapping around that block there. Here comes 3 defenders closing in, 4 now. He just protects the ball and Gets it nearly to the 1. Okay, Moss is back in. Inside zone. That was nice. Okay, so just watch his eyes, watch his helmet. He's getting the ball here, and you see him get his eyes right down the center line right here. And this defender is obviously coming free, so he's got to somehow make him miss in a phone booth, right? He's looking out here to bounce out here. You see Weavers gets his helmet in the hole. So although he wanted to bounce out here towards Weaver, he cuts it back in the last second up inside. He's breaking that arm tackle. Look at him rotate his upper body. And again, this isn't a big gain. It's a good tackle by Weaver again. But watch how he rotates his body. He uses his offhand in conjunction with his cuts. Right there, look, he high and tight, right? Look at the ball. I mean, that ball is high and tight as that big club comes across it. And he rotates that trunk to shuck and kind of slip that tackle by a defensive tackle. That's a defensive lineman. See him? He doesn't let that momentum stop him. And of course, when Weaver hits him, what happens? He doesn't go backwards. He's leaning forward and he's gaining more yardage. And he even undercuts another tackler, dips under this guy to get another couple extra yards. So another good run by Moss. I mean, it's very rare that this guy loses yards and takes, tackles for loss in the backfield, because usually he can make that first defender miss. Not much on that one. So here's a little flare control, and there's no one even really guarding him. Looks like the corner's just squatting down here. So get it to him quick. Again, make that first guy miss. 1-on-1, fine green, back to the middle of the field. See a little gallop step right there. And again, it puts him right back in stride. And look at him, see them shave that angle. He doesn't have the speed. He's not a speed guy. He's not elusive really. But what he does in his own way is he shaves angles, right? He shaves these arm tackles. He puts those guys in a disadvantaged tackling position. And then look at him shave the angle there. He almost becomes skinny, right? He takes away those hips that defender's trying to attack, steps by it, and then now he's breaking tackles and falling forward to nearly the first down. So even in the receiving game, if you get him the ball quick enough, like you see him surveying the field here, and he knows he's going to cut it back up in here, so he's got to set up that guy. And obviously that's a corner, so he should win this. But you see him, again, shave, high and tight. Look what the ball is. I mean, the ball's pretty much vertical there, right? That tips up. That's high and tight. I always think about Tiki Barber years ago when he was fumbling a lot, and they started working on him, keeping it high and tight. And obviously fumbling is not something that you can have as a running back. So he does a good job of keeping that ball high and tight, making that shoulder and those hips disappear as he's making that cut, right? Like right there, you see like a skip forward. A little skip forward. And then now he's setting up his next broken tackle. And again, that offhand, right? And you got two guys on him, so he does protect the ball. You see the offhand right here, left hand. See him kind of push that arm down. I don't know if you can really see it. Right there, you see him push it down. So that kind of breaks him free from those, from that arm right there. And that guy's obviously sliding down his hips, protects the ball. But look at the strength. Look at that strength. Leaning forward and then falling forward. I mean, he broke that tackle. But I'll let it play from the beginning. A lot to like with this guy. Breaks a lot of tackles. Whew. That was decisive. Look at the churn there. Churns it out. There's Moss. A little hesitation initially, and then boom. You see him. You can see his pads. Like right now, he's processing where he wants to go. Like right now, he's standing straight up. He's not even running. See a little skip right there. But when he does decide, here it comes. He's dropping the pads. Here comes Weaver. Comes the other defender, number 8. I'm not sure his name. But watch his legs. You better wrap him up because those legs are churning. Because he brings the pain. Boom. And he's falling forward. Little bend back play. Gets out into the open. Good cut. Switch the ball in the other hand. Ball's in the right hand. Be in the left. So this looks like a little wrap play back to the field, the right hand side. And what this does is it gets, I mean, these defenders, especially linebacker Weaver here, you know, you're not having a guard pull, you're having this tight end come across the formation, and you're having the footwork of the running back head downhill, right? So what's that going to do to Weaver? It's going to bring him downhill, right? It's a downhill run. Nope. They bend it back outside. So that gets, you know, a guy like Weaver who wants to defend the run, gets him downhill, and then he gets caught in the traffic, held up a little bit. But now you got numbers out wide. Good job by Moss of cutting it upfield, but I'd like to see him put the ball in his left hand. Good block. Is that number 80 again? Dude, number 80 has been making plays. That guy has had several pancakes, touchdowns rushing, but good run there by the offense, getting that second level downhill and then bouncing it out wide. Downhill run by Moss. This time you get a pulling guard. And I mean, he gets just enough of Weaver. You see Moss kind of set him up outside. You see him kind of look outside with his eyes right there. And then, boom, plants it upfield. And he's got just enough to get by. And the arm tackle from, I think is it 93 that comes, retraces back over top right there. Yeah. I mean, there's no way that arm tackle is bringing him down. And Davis is, again, diving at the knees of him. Does make the tackle, but nice little setup by Moss. Arm tackles at the line of scrimmage are not bringing this guy down. Just not going to happen. Looks like he gets in too. My goodness. So you're going to see a run blitz. I'll show you real quick from the all-22 angle. So you're going to see a blitz right here, right? As this guy goes across the formation, it's not man coverage. They're not going to travel that guy with him. So he blitzes and 19 slants inside, right, on this run blitz. And so that gives a defender a chance to stop Moss in the backfield there. But you see the stop. Again, he's light on his feet here as he's getting, and again, he's not really running full speed. He knows this blitz is coming pre-snap. I mean, just look, he's not getting downhill. Normally, he's got to open one step right there, and then he's crossing over and getting downhill. But he can already feel that blitz coming. And he makes that guy miss and then gets up the field. And, of course, he's not super fast, right? Again, he's not accelerating away from people. But if you're thinking and processing that quickly prior to the play, that can go a long way. It's almost like quarterbacks. You know, Josh Allen has super, amazing arm strength, but he doesn't process it fast. Well, a guy like, say, Sam Bradford, a few years ago, guy doesn't have a strong arm. How does he have to overcome with that? Anticipation and processing of the coverage quickly so he can get rid of the ball quicker and anticipate the throw. Same thing with running backs. You may not have the speed. Devin Singletary is not a speed guy, but he's a guy that can process, set up defenders, and is super elusive and quick. Well, here you see Moss processing this run stunt, this run blitz coming. Makes this guy miss by stopping on a dime there. And now he's just trying to get upfield as quick as he can and break the tackles en route to the end zone. And you see, man, Dave, this was not Davis's best game. I just got this film, so I haven't seen this tackling clinic or lack thereof by Davis. I don't like how he's diving at the legs of these guys. That's not what's going to win at the next level. The guys are too good. Running backs are too good. And you see Moss go ahead and break that tackle, and it looks like he gets in the end zone. So good play, a good recognition by Moss on this play. He breaks several tackles and keeps the play alive. It shows pretty good balance to get in the end zone there.